David Benavidez says Plant lacks the power to beat Canelo. Knuckleheads, it's really refreshing to hear an analysis and a point of view from a guy like David Benavidez, who's in the game and a rarity in the game, right? David Benavidez, in my opinion, despite the fact that he's just 24 years of age, I believe, is a real rarity in the game because you get authenticity. You get the realness from the guy. He's a guy who's very patient, well beyond his years, knows that it's going to take him some time before he can get Canelo in the ring. I love the way he presents himself and that topic. And he's a guy who, seemingly every single time he opens his mouth is talking sense. The only knock that you can have on David Benavidez is to say maybe he wasn't disciplined, he missed weight one time, he was partying one time, with the nose candy and got caught doing that. But he's not a guy who's lost credibility for cheating. He's not a guy who's lost credibility because he doesn't have the skills. This guy has all the skills in the world. This guy believes in himself, and it's probably that confidence that allows him to speak authentically without a filter. And he essentially said that he thinks Caleb Plant, although he'll have a chance to beat Canelo if he's able to, essentially box him and outbox him throughout the entirety of the fight, he just doesn't feel he's going to be able to beat Canelo, though, because he lacks the power. And this is, I think a very sort of obvious thing, right? A thing that not many people are willing to say because they don't want to rub certain people the wrong way. But, Benavidez, in a very respectful way, he said, look, me and Plant have some static or whatever, but and he's a great boxer, but I'm just being honest, I just don't think he has the power to stop Canelo, to keep him off. And, I couldn't agree more. I mean, as an objective boxing fan, I sit back and I look at Canelo versus Caleb Plant, and I say to myself, it's true, how is he going to keep Canelo Alvarez off of him? If he dances around in boxes, which is, what the Canelo naysayers and the Canelo Karens have been saying for years is the way to beat him, does he end up like Billy Joe Saunders? Listen, I thought Canelo beat Erislandy Lara, way back when. I definitely think he's adapted to the run and gun style. People want to fight him that way. And I agree with Benavidez. The only way you're going to beat this guy is to hit him hard and try to back him up. But good luck doing that. The guy is an absolute tank, understands distance like no other, has big power, and has really good speed and head movement. I think Canelo is a very tough fight for Caleb Plant. I love that Benavidez came out and said this because it's just authentic talk and no hate, if you ask me. On top of it, he also mentioned that, Plant kind of seems to lose steam as the fight goes on, especially after the 6th and 7th round, whereas Canelo gets stronger, and that's true. That for me, that's been the truth about Canelo since the beginning of his career, man. I always felt like he started off a bit slow, and would gain momentum as the fight went on. Sometimes he would conserve himself, perhaps, and I thought he would gas a little bit as well. But, in his last few fights, he's just looked in tremendous condition. I don't think gassing is a thing for him. And I do agree. I feel like he's getting stronger as the fight progresses, as he analyzes the fighter in front of him, kind of like how he did with Kovalev and kind of like how he did with Billy Joe Saunders. At the end of the day, I agree with Benavidez, guys. I don't think Plant has the firepower to keep Canelo off of him, but it remains to be seen if the fight gets made for September. I would love to see the fight. I do think Caleb Plant is an excellent fighter, and I do think it'll be a competitive fight, especially in the first half of the fight. Kind of exactly, I see it the way Benavidez sees it. So tell me what you guys think. Is Benavidez hating? Is he being real? I think he's just being a real objective guy, telling it like it is. What I do know is Fighters Rep 10 is coming August 13th, and you can only watch it right here on our YouTube channel by hitting the join button. It's just $9.99 a month to join. You can cancel immediately after and still watch the event. We've got something like 16 or 17 fights lined up for you. Fantastic talent on the card. You're not going to want to miss this. Also, I'd appreciate if you guys hit the like button after leaving your comment below about, David Benavidez telling the truth or not, and hit the subscribe button. Help me continue to grow this channel and the only kickboxing promotion that matters. And finally, get your Fighters Rep gear in the link below to also support. David Benavidez, you guys. He might like to party, but he's keeping it real.